So last class I have explained addition and subtraction, and also how to check the carry after your subtraction operation, multiplication and division. Okay. So in your lab program, you can use this exchange instruction. Okay. Exchange is the one of the data transfer instruction to exchange the content between your accumulator and Rn. Okay. You can use XCHA comma Rn. Okay. So you have to load your one of your input into Rn and other one is in accumulator. Okay. And exchange A comma B not available. Okay. You can use exchange A comma Rn. Okay. So next we will see the application for division instruction. So what are the applications can be possible by using this division instruction? So this division instruction can be applied for, that is for developing real-time programs, that is real-time applications. Suppose if the temperature sensor is connected to your port, okay, so when there is an analog to digital converter, so that analog to digital converter is connected to port, and ADC represent, that is analog to digital represent some quantity, okay, such as temperature or pressure, okay. If the temperature sensor is connected, it will measure temperature. The pressure sensor connected, it will measure pressure. So that should be converted into digital and then given into the microcontroller, okay. So your 8-bit ADC provides the data in hexadecimal format in the range of 00 to FF, okay. So this hex data must be converted into decimal, okay. So the particular your data, hexadecimal data, should be converted into decimal. For that case, direct decimal conversion instructions are not available in 8051. For that case, we can use div operations to convert your hexadecimal number into decimal. Okay. So here the programmers write a program to get hex data in the range of 00 to FF. Okay. That is hexadecimal range from 00 to FF, and convert it into decimal. And after conversion, you have to store your result in 3 different registers: R7, R6, and R5. Okay. So there are 2 methods for converting your hexadecimal data into decimal. Okay. So we will see one by one. So the procedure is first method. Method 1. So the method 1, to convert a hexadecimal number into decimal, so we have to divide the number by 10 until the quotient is less than 10. Okay, so we have to divide the number by 10. For example, take this one, that is FD. FD is your input. Okay, so what is the decimal equivalent for this FD? Please find out and tell me. So what is the hexadecimal equivalent for FD? What is the answer, students? Am I audible? 2?
54, ma'am.
53, I think.
3, ma'am. 253.
253. Okay. So the procedure is you have to divide this by 0a. Okay, that is the method number 1. FF divide the 0a. So after division, your quotient is 19, okay, and remainder is 0. Okay, so store this remainder, sorry, 0. So this is FD, no, FD 03. 03. Okay, so store this value in R7. Okay, again, so you divide it and tell me F in hexadecimal calculator, FD by 0a. So do it in the hexadecimal calculator.
Nineteen, ma'am.
19, okay. So next you divide this 19, take the quotient and divide this 19 by 0a. Okay, so the answer is, divide this number and tell me.
2, ma'am. 2, ma'am.
2. So 17. 2. Okay, here, sorry, 17 or
14,
5, I
ma'am.
think the remainder is 5. So what is the answer here? 19 minus 5, 14.
14.
40. Okay, so here store this value in R6 and store this quotient in R5. Okay, so I will explain this again. So first FD by 0a. Trace your quotient and remainder. Your quotient is 19, remainder is 3. Okay, so we have to perform division until your quotient is less than 10, that is less than 0a. Okay, again 19 by 0a, the quotient is 2 and 5. So store this in R7 and this in R6 and this in R5. So this is the exact conversion of your FD. 253 is the decimal equivalent for FD. So in this way, we can convert your hexadecimal value into decimal value. So this operation is converting your hexadecimal value, that is decimal values into, that is digital values into decimal values. Is that clear?
Doubt, ma'am.
Yes,
Why we are dividing by 0a, ma'am?
0a is equivalent to 10, dividing the digits by 1 by 1.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
By radix.
That's a simple mathematical operation. That is separating your LSB and MSB by dividing by 10. Separating digits by digits. Okay. So this is the procedure. So to convert it to decimal number, the method is to divide the number by 10. That is 10 is nothing but your hexadecimal value 0a until the quotient is less than 0a. Okay. So next method, suppose input is FF, hexadecimal, decimal value 255. Okay, so divide this number by 100. 100 is nothing but in terms of hexadecimal, this is 64. Okay, so we are separating this one, first one, 64. So what is the quotient? Quotient is 2 and remainder is 37. So here we have to store quotient or remainder. So previous method, what is the previous method? In previous method, we are storing the remainder and take the quotient for next division. Here we have to store the quotient and take this remainder value for next division. Is that clear? So you have to store that 2. And next you divide this 37 by 0a. So your quotient will be 5 and remainder will be 5. So you have to store this quotient and remainder. So the first method, you divide the number by 10, okay. 10 is nothing but your 0a. So perform the division until your quotient is less than 0a. This case, you divide this number by 64. 64 is nothing but your value is 100 and save your quotient and proceed the next division by using your remainder and trace out the values and store the values accordingly. So the exact equivalent is 255. So in this way, we can program using two different methods. We can convert the hexadecimal number into decimal. Is that clear?
And here we have to save the quotient in R5 register.
Yeah, we have to store the quotient into the general purpose register based on your problem statement. Based on problem statement, you can store it in either memory location or in general purpose register.
So how to detect the LSB and MSB over here?
That is a user identification only. So programming we have to trace out. Interpretation is completely depends on your user programmer side.
So we should always know the decimal equivalent first and then only.
Yeah. So here MSB to LSB. This case MSB to LSB. This method. Okay. First, we identify this your MSB number 2 and next 5 and next 5. Okay. So here LSB next digit next digit. So in this way we can trace. So that is the responsibility is the user side only. Is that clear? So can you write the program for this one? Write a program to get hexa data in the range of 00 to FF and convert it into decimal. So take FD. Take your input FD. So your input is FD. So write a program. Store your first reminder in R7, second reminder in R6, and quotient in R5. So user has to interpret the result based on your reminder and quotient, based on your division method. First, load your FD into accumulator and 0A into B register. Perform division operation, okay? And save your reminder into R7, okay? And next, load your B register content, that is load B register with 0A, again perform division and transfer your A and B into R6 and R5. What is the answer? If you have completed, you can enter your code in the chat box. Put your code in the chat box. So everyone can see that.
Ma'am, after the division operation, the
Yes.
content of the B register will be changed, ma'am. So we
Yeah.
have to load.
Again, you have to load.
Okay.
Load your divisor value.
Hmm.
So what is your divisor? Divisor is 0A. You have to load it again.
Okay. Ma'am.
Sir, சொல்லுங்க சார். Completed? Yes or no?
That's fine.
Can anyone explain the logic?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
First, we have to load the value FD into accumulator
Okay.
and the divisor 10 into B register.
Okay.
And then we have to divide AB.
Okay.
And now we have to store the remainder which is in B in R7.
Okay.
And then we have to load the value of the divisor in B register again.
Okay.
And again we have to divide AB because the
Yes.
portion will not change.
Okay.
And now again the new reminder is loaded into R6 register and the quotient is loaded into R5 register.
Yes. Correct. So this is the solution for this example.
Ma'am, one doubt.
Yes.
Ma'am, we can able to move B to R7 directly, ma'am, or we want to move it to accumulator and then.
In Sun Simulator, it can accept this. You can check with your simulator whether the instruction is available or not. Otherwise, you can move through accumulator.
And then again we want to give
Yeah.
accumulator
Again, you have to load the
FD
your.
and 0A.
So it's a
And
tedious process, but your simulator it can accept this one. Move R7, B. For 8051 ID, accept this one. You can try it in the simulator and check it out whether the instruction is valid or not.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Otherwise, we can use also use jump instruction also, ma'am.
That is
go for
also
the same
possible.
instruction.
I will cover that in jump carry and jump no carry. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
In coming classes, I will explain that. Okay. Following classes. So first, you move this your input to accumulator, or suppose if you are doing this program in your simulator, you can get the data through DPTR, okay, through your memory window. And here, the immediate data, I am directly loading this immediate data into accumulator, and divisor is loaded into B register, perform div operation, that is FD divided by 0A. So after division, your quotient holds, what is the value?
19.
19. Remainder 3. So your quotient answer will be holded by accumulator and remainder will be holded by B register. Okay. So move this B register content to R7 according to the problem statement. This will be your LSB of your decimal value. Okay. So your B is transferred into R7. Okay. So here B register content is changed. So again, we have to reload the divisor value in order to perform the next addition. So 0A is loaded into B register. Now B register holds 0A. and your accumulator already holds 19. Okay, so what is the next instruction? Div AB, again 19 divided by 0A. So what is the answer? 255. 2 is your quotient, 5 is remainder. So A register, B register. Okay, so first you transfer this B register content to R6 and A register content to R4. So after execution, your R7, R6, R5 holds your result. That is first digit, last digit 3, next 5, next 2. In this way we can convert. Is that clear now? Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And also you can change the divisor and store your quotient also using 64 division. That is, divide the number by 64. That is the one another method for converting x to the decimal value. So that's all about division. So division instructions can be applied for real-time applications. Okay.
Actually in this R7 only holds 3, no ma'am.
பாருங்க செக் பண்ணுங்க. R7 ஆமாமா ரிவர்ஸ்ல எழுதிட்டேன். ஒன் செகண்ட் ஒன்ஸ். R7 holds 3. Okay. R6 holds 5. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
R5 holds 2. So the order is R5, R6, R7. So 2, 5, 3. Please note it down. So this is the wrong answer. R5 holds 2, R6 holds 5, and R7 holds 3. 2, 5, 3. So the last instruction in the arithmetic group, DAA, decimal adjust accumulator. Okay. So this instruction adjusts the 8-bit result in the accumulator after addition to get a BCD, that is packed BCD number. In previous case, in division, we are able to get individual digits. Okay. So using this decimal adjust accumulator, we can get a packed BCD number. That is, it is used to adjust the value of your accumulator after addition to get BCD number. Okay, is that clear? 1 second, ma. 1 second. So this instruction adjusts the 8-bit result in the accumulator after addition to get a BCD number. Okay. So before that, we must understand the concepts of your BCD number system. What is BCD number system? Can anyone tell me? So this topic might have covered in your digital electronics. What is BCD? How it can be represented?
Each digit will be represented in
Each?
binary map.
Yeah.
Each digit map, like 1 1 will represent it in 0 0 1 0 0 1.
So binary representation of 0 to 9 is called BCD. So here, this table, look at this table. 0 can be represented 4 zeros. 9 can be represented 1 0 0 1. Okay. So not binary or hex numbers. So it is a binary representation of 0 to 9 is called BCD. So here we have two types of BCD, unpacked BCD and packed BCD. Okay. So in unpacked BCD, the lower 4 bits of the number represent the BCD number, and the rest of the bits are 0. For example, 5 means, so this can be represented 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1. Similarly, 9 means it can be represented 1, 0, 0, and remaining bits all will be 0. So 4 zeros along with your number. 4 zeros along with your number. Okay. So the important thing is this unpacked BCD requires 1 byte of memory or an 8-bit register to contain it. Okay. So 5 means it can be represented 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1. So 9 means this represented. So this requires 1 byte of memory. 1 byte of memory to accommodate 4 bit of data. To accommodate 4 bit of data, unnecessarily it takes remaining 4 bits. Okay. And in case of packed BCD, these two numbers can be combined in terms of, in case of packed BCD. So single byte has 2 BCD numbers in it, and one in the lower 4 bit and another one in the upper 4 bits. So this 9 and 5 can be combined and be represented 59 pitch. Okay. So it takes 1 byte of memory to store packed BCD operand, and so one reason to use packed BCD is that it is twice as efficient in storing data. So that's why we are using this packed BCD numbers. So 2 digits are combined together and put it in a single register. It requires 1 byte of memory. So that numbers are called packed BCD number. So to handling PCD operation, the first step is we have to pack the PCD, and after that we can perform any operation. Okay. So the problem is that here in packed BCD, after adding packed BCD number, the result is no longer BCD. Okay. So we have to convert that value into hexadecimal. We go for DAA, decimal adjusted accumulator. Okay. So adding 2 packed BCD numbers must give a BCD result. But according to the 8051 instruction, okay, so after adding packed BCD number, the result is no longer BCD. Okay. So we have to convert this BCD number into exact hexadecimal format. For that, we have to use DAA instruction, decimal adjust accumulator. So look at this problem, move 8,17, add 8,28. Please add these two numbers and tell me the answer. So according to our consideration, this number is the decimal number, 17 and 28. So our program has to perform BCD addition, but your microcontroller will accept only hexadecimal number. It will perform only hexadecimal result. Okay, it will produce hexadecimal result. So user responsibility is that we have to convert that hexadecimal number into BCD number by using this DAA instruction, decimal adjust accumulator instruction. Okay, so add these two, 17 plus 28. What is the answer?
3.
5, 4. Okay, but according to your 51 addition operation, 17, 28 added and it will give 3F. So this answer must be corrected by using this DAA instruction. So the purpose of DAA is, first it will check the LSB, that is LSB is greater than 9 or lesser than 9. If it is greater than 9, 6 will be added to the LSB. Similarly, next operation, it will check the MSB. If the MSB is greater than 9, plus 6 will be added. In this way, it will correct the answer. We will get the exact BCD number. Okay. So adding these two numbers, which is not a BCD, to adjust the X value into BCD, we have to use DAA. Is that clear? புரிஞ்சுதுங்களா?
Yes, ma'am.
So here, according to this example, we have to perform BCD addition, but your microcontroller will accept only hexadecimal inputs. After addition, only we are getting hexadecimal value. To adjust the hexadecimal value into BCD, we have to use DAA. So I will explain this DAA with one example. So that is the concept of, that is the purpose of your DAA instruction. Okay. So this is the syntax DAA space A, decimal adjust for addition. So DA instruction is provided to correct the above said problem associated with BCD addition. Okay. So this instruction will add 6 to the lower byte or higher byte if need. Okay. So according to this example, move A comma hash 47, move B comma hash 25, add A comma B. So what is the answer? 6C we are getting. After addition, the accumulator holds 6E. So this must be corrected. Okay. For that, we have to use DAA instruction. So DAA instruction works only after an add instruction. So we have to use DAA after addition instruction to adjust your accumulator answer. So adjust for BCD, which means DAA means your hexadecimal is adjusted into BCD. Okay. So look at this example. So this is the complete summary of your DA instruction. So after addition or addition with carry, this instruction can be used. Okay. So first it will check the LSB. If LSB is greater than 9, or it will check the auxiliary carry flag. Either greater than 9, or if auxiliary carry is 1, add 6 to the LSB for correcting your LSB answer. Similarly, it will check the MSB. If upper nibble is greater than 9, if carry flag is set, add 6 to the upper 4 bits. Okay. So look at this addition, 29, 18. According to your microcontroller instruction execution, this number is the hexadecimal number. So first it will convert this number into binary. So 0010, 10001, and for 18, 0001, 100. After add instruction, these two are added. The result, your accumulator holds this value. What is the answer? 4, 1 is the answer. So when adding two decimal numbers, that is 2980, we are supposed to get 47. But according to your microcontroller operation, we are able to get only 41. So this value must be adjusted. For that, we have to use DAA instruction after your addition operation. Is that clear? So here auxiliary carry is 1. So what is the step involved if auxiliary carry is 1? So what? Add 6 to the LSB. So 0, 1, 1, 0 is added. So 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0. What is the answer? 47. Now 41 is adjusted into 47. So auxiliary carry is 1. After the addition, DAA will add 6 to the LSB. So the final result is in BCD format. So user has to interpret the result based on the given inputs. Suppose in your program, if you are giving a BCD number, that value, that is your result, must be converted into BCD. So for that, you have to incorporate DAA after your addition instruction. So the algorithm is, first it will check the LSB. If the LSB is greater than 9, add 6 to the LSB. And similarly, it will check your upper, that is MSB. If it is greater than 9, add 6 with the upper 4 bits. So the final result is in BCD format. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. So do the first example. $55.68 add A comma B DAA. So these two are homework problems. Okay. So first, write it in binary. 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0. Add these two. What is the answer after adding? Please find out. So 55, 68,
BD.
123 we are supposed to get. What is the answer? B, D.
Yes, ma'am.
1101 அடுத்தது 1011. So BD. So after addition, your processor will execute DAA. What will happen? It will check both LSB and MSB. So both are greater than 9 or less than 9?
Both are greater.
Greater or lesser?
Greater than 9.
So we have to add after execution, it automatically add 6 with both LSB and MSB. What is the answer? Sorry, 1, 1, 0. Okay. Next 0, 1, sorry, 1, 0, 0, 1. So along with carry, your answer is 123. So your value is converted into BCD format. So your accumulator holds 24 and your carry is set to 1. 1, 2, 3. Is that clear? So before DA instruction, it will perform only hexadecimal operation. So this hex is adjusted into BCD by incorporating this DAA instruction, decimal adjust accumulator. So the result in the accumulator is adjusted into BCD form. So adjust the 8-bit result in the accumulator after addition to get a BCD number. Is that clear? Any doubts regarding this? Students? புரிஞ்சதுங்களா இல்லை கன்ஃபியூஸ் பண்ணிட்டேனா? கன்ஃபியூஸ்டாக இருக்கீங்களா இல்லை கிளியரா?
Clear, ma'am.
Clear. What about other students? Only Bharati, வேற frequent Balasuriya, இவங்க மட்டும் தான் கம்யூனிகேட் பண்ணுவீங்க. What about others? Okay. So what is the answer for second one? And tell me 36 plus 24. Tell me the answer. So you were supposed to get 60 H, 60, that is BCD, result is 60. So after adding 36 with 24, what is the answer according to the hexadecimal addition?
5A.
5. ma'am.
5A. So which one is to be adjusted? Is to be adjusted?
A is to be adjusted.
LSB.
LSP, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
LSB has to be adjusted.
LSB.
So you have to add 6 with your LSB. What is the answer? After adjusting?
60.
60. 60 is the correct answer. So next one is the increment decrement instruction. Okay. So decrement operation first. So decrementing is the operation of subtracting one from the operand specified in the instruction. So the operand may be your accumulator or 8-bit register, internal memory location, okay, and also your internal memory location whose address is given, that is addressed by R0 or R1. So one is subtracted from the accumulator. After subtraction, result is transferred into accumulator. Okay, and first two are register addressing mode because the registers are directly specified in the instruction. And third one is the direct addressing mode, and fourth one is the indirect addressing mode because it is addressed by R0 and R1 8-bit pointers. And first two take one byte, and the second one takes 2 byte, and last one takes 1 byte, and 1 mission cycle is required for executing these instructions. Okay. Increment. So incrementing is the operation of adding 1 to the operand given in the instruction. Okay. A plus 1 and result will be quoted by. Similarly, here operand may be accumulator or your registers or internal memory whose address may be given in the instruction or given by R1 and R0 and your 16-bit data pointer DPTR. Okay. So Rn plus 1 result will be folded by your destination register. So first two register addressing mode, third one is the direct, fourth one is the indirect, and fifth one comes under register addressing mode, increment DPTR. So 1 byte, 2, these two are 1 byte. And the last one takes 2 mission cycle to execute this particular instruction. So here no flags are affected by increment and decrement instructions. So no flags will be affected. Okay? During the execution of increment and decrement, no flags will be affected. And the one more point is we have only increment DPTR instruction and decrement version of DPTR not available in 8051. Okay? Only we can increment the data pointer. We cannot decrement the data pointer. So that is the drawback in 8051 architecture. So we can increment the 16-bit memory pointer. So decrement version of DPTR is not available in 8051 instructions. Okay. So your arithmetic group instructions are completed here. So next class we will see about branch instruction. Okay. Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Any doubts? Do you have any doubts regarding this? The DA is very important, okay, for all your conversion operations, okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, students. Thank you.
Thank you.
ma'am.
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am.
Bro, ma'am ಇಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮೀಟ್ಲ.
Thanks, bro.